Hey there everybody, my name is Joyce Montiwahiga. Welcome back to the second hour of the show. This is Full Circle with Joyce, and here's what we have in store for you this hour. We're going to be touching on the world in pictures later on, and before that though, we'll be looking at relationships, and my guest is here in studio. Today we want to discuss things no one tells you about love and relationships. Should make for a very interesting conversation, but before we dive into that, let's take a look at our quote for the day. It is by Karma Vos, and it says, "Create what sets your heart on fire, and it will illuminate the path ahead." Create what sets your heart on fire, and it will illuminate the path ahead. That there is our quote for the day. And remember that 111-444-111 is the SMS line. You can send in your feedback and your comments there. Let me know what some of your experiences are as well, as far as love and relationships, and maybe some of the biggest things that you've learned that nobody told you about. But very quickly, an SMS here from Emmanuel, who says, "Good morning, Joyce. The show is always on point and the suits are on fire. I love the class and I just feel like making deals in them." I like that. Yeah, inspire some confidence in yourself with how you dress. Absolutely. All right, well, here we have with us Benjamin Zulu. How are you?
I'm fine, dear.
Very well. Karibu tena to the
Asante,
show.
I'm excited about the topic.
Good. That usually means I'm gonna have a hard time like keeping him in control.
Because we are debunking misconceptions.
Right.
And we are announcing what nobody else is announcing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't, because people think love is about lovey-dovey, relationship is about that feeling, that excitement. It's part of it, but it's only the icing.
So we definitely do tend to build a lot of castles in the air and
That's
have
right.
all of these dreams and aspirations about love. And sometimes even the expectations that we put forth in our relationships are, to be frank, very unrealistic, because this is another human being at the end of the day. And so I think part of the trouble is that those misideas or wrong ideas and wrong expectations begin so far even before we've even entered a relationship, and kind of just prevails through dating, through engagement. Then you get married and there's no exit, and you're like, Allah, what has happened here? So maybe we can begin by just kind of talking about the people that we are dating and that we marry. You know, we put them on such a high pedestal, like they can do no wrong. They're the most perfect people in the world, and they may aspire to be, but that's just not the truth.
And I'm happy you hint at it, because actually there's a quote that says, one of the hardest things you'll ever do is to learn to expect less from the person you love the most. Because our teenage, our adolescent, our childhood, we were oriented to expect so much from people because we love them so much. So I want to announce to us that here that love is important, but love is not enough. It's not enough to marry because you're in love. It may sound counterintuitive. A girl was called me this morning. I'm 25. I'm married. Have a child. We have this problem. Okay. So you are 25. You're married. You have a child. Did you date at the wrong 23? Yes. Okay. Let's go on. What happened? I graduated, got married immediately. All right, my hubby is not as learned as me, as a Form 4 leaver. And I want to announce it. So why did you do that? Because I loved him. Love is not enough, Joyce.
Well,
You need compatibility. You need to project into the future. Now, and I told her, you don't need to tell me now. I can already guess what is going on. One, him and his people always see that you're looking down on their son, even when you're not doing it. Everything you do has a connotation, because you're learned, because you have money, so you have to always be on the defensive, not to attempt anything new, not to launch a project, don't challenge him, don't correct him, don't do anything, because everything will be interpreted because of his superiority. Now you are in love. So where is the love? Marriage is supposed to be permanent. You want to think as a decision you're making once and for life. Let me announce to graduates, don't jump into marriage right after graduation. You make blunders that you live with for a long time. So we are saying love is not enough. There are other things that are important.
Benjamin, would you say that applies even when you're marrying someone of your age group? Because I know that there are people who, so both of them maybe are 25 or both of them are young.
Thank you.
So, because I think many of us perceive this conversation as, I'm 25, but he's a little older. Are you saying that even when you're the same age group, just kind of put the brakes on it?
First of all, don't marry a guy who's 25. Don't even try it. Please don't
I tried,
try.
guys.
Most guys,
man.
we have less than 10% guys who will have matured, stabilized to focus on one woman at 27. So few. The men go through an exploration phase between 24 to 30. Where they club, they experiment, women check every skirt, check every female thing, they're restless, they're clubbing, they're driving around. So there are girls who come there, you know, we started dating, he's 26, I'm 24, now he's flirting with women right under my nose. I'm saying, you are the one who came into his exploration right under his nose. You are the one who's lost. So men have an exploration phase.
Yes, you've cut short his...
Men who are the clubbing type go clubbing, the church type go preaching, crusade, they're fiery, they wear suits, they're preaching, they're fire. So we have men, we have the club type and the church type. All of them have an exploration period. The church type is very unrefined and feel just rush. They talk, they repent or go to hell. Sister, remove that skirt or you go to hell. When you hear a brother talking like that, that's a group I'm talking about. They're so insensitive, they just bang the Bible, repent. So men have a phase that women don't go through. There's a phase in many women. We're not saying all of them. There's a few, those who have been consciously growing and being mentored. But even me, I married past 30. So I'm not saying you cannot. But some Mzungu we were talking, I told you, you see the divorce rates in your country? Out of there, because you let kids pick mates. As if they know what they're doing. And then later,
so
we are divorced. Why are you divorcing? Because I'm not happy.
And it's so, I have to say that's so true, because for me, so I lived abroad and I lived with Americans and, you know,
right.
foreigners for a long time. And my high school mates, I mean, as soon as we'd finish high school, they would get married. And I'd be there stressed out like, what is happening? But sad to say, a lot of them are actually divorced by this point. Yeah, by and 23.
In the West, they talk about that before the marriages as if it's normal. Because the first ones are mistakes. People are rushing to it. Your biology, your brain is developing with its own schedule. You won't rush it because now you have money. One girl asked me, what if now I already have a job, have money? I said, now that's the stupidity of 23-year-old. You think your brain knows about money. So take your time. So we are saying here, love is not enough. You must go look further ahead. Another thing that happens inside marriage, that even if you married right, you must factor it. You married the right time and you're prepared and you came back together. That relationship can die for lack of energy.
But see, you're compatible.
Yes.
And then there's love, and you've chosen. Me, I say love is a choice, not a feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah. You've chosen to love, and then you're compatible.
The only couple that lasts 20, 30, 40 years to lifetime is a couple that is growing. If growth is not at the center of your union, you won't last.
Ebu, let's take a break and then come back to continue this discussion here. I want to understand what you mean by energy. This energy, is it maybe? Wacha tuchukue break kwanza. We'll be back after this, guys. 111 444 111 is the SMS line. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. And Maze, I'm here with Benjamin Zulu. And there are even some SMSs I'm just afraid to read because I can already foresee his reaction. But let me just entertain myself. My name is Winnie. I have a bae who is in Nairobi. People say he's cheating on me, and now I'm confused. I'm 18 and he's 24. Please help me.
Go back to the kitchen, learn to cook uji.
Okay.
Stop talking about boys when you're 18, sweetie. You have a life to live.
Okay, sweetie.
You have a career to build.
It's true.
Please, forget about bae. Don't use that word again. For the next 6 years, be on fasting. Go grow up.
Guys, you can keep your questions coming into 111 444 111. That's the SMS line, and I'm sure we'll be happy to touch on those. But let's get back into now talking about things no one tells you about love and relationships. And so we've already mentioned that, you know, the person that you date or marry, they're not on a pedestal, okay? And that we also need to be compatible in addition to love. But you were touching on that there needs to be an energy that keeps your relationship growing. Please briefly explain what you mean by that.
We have all heard that it's all about love. As long as you love each other, it will be okay. But no sooner do couples marry 1, 2, 3, they come to me, how can we revive the fire? The fire is dead. No, I don't hear, there's no that, the butterflies, I don't feel them anymore. You're just there. Anybody on their phone, you just there, just talk normal. So your day was good, yes. Supper, yeah, it's there. The fire will die if you just come together, and that's all.
Yeah.
Ask the shushus and grandpas who have been 40 years into marriage. You hear one cutting theme. I researched. You hear one theme. We always had a project to work on. We always had a challenge to face. We always had this. Actually, I know one couple told me, we are done with that, but we are trying to initiate another project. We learned, we communicate better, we are closer when we are working on something. Energy, I mean something you are stretching towards. Companionship only means something if it's a journey. If I ask you to keep me company and we sit there, the adventure goes away. What are we talking about?
And you know, this is such a good point, Benjamin, because this is to me what makes that vow, that if you choose to make that vow, for better, for worse, that's what gives your relationship life. Because so many of us, like, as soon as the problems hit, we run away. And yet that is what, overcoming that challenge is really what pushes you for the next 10 years, for the next 15 years. And so, be it working on a project, building a house, you know, buying some property, or even overcoming and surmounting challenges, super important.
In war, soldiers who fought in similar battalions bonded for life. And we, in neuroscience, we say neurons that fire together wire together. People may think it is the dinners that connect them, but I tell them it's surprising. It's the challenges you fought together. Right. It's the enemies it's the money you have to save. It's something, it's project you have to acquire. It's something, actually that's how you develop an in language, in jokes, memories.
Yeah.
It's so pleasant when you're with your partner in a meeting and people say something and you look at each other because it clicks with something. You guys can remember, both of you, and you're telling each other, we'll pick up from there, what they're saying.
Yeah.
The adventure in relationship comes from motion. I said marriage is like a bicycle. It's only stable when it's moving. So those who love each other, they come together like this, then one of them is progressive. That's usually the most important, the most devastating part.
Yeah.
One of them is more progressive. The other one is a settler. This is achiever, is on the move. The other one is avoiding all risk and trying to maintain status quo.
Is there a way, though, to know that before you get into the marriage, that you address it?
Exactly. Start by asking, where were you 5 years ago?
But what they don't like that question, or they get threatened by it.
The fact that they get threatened by it already gives you the answer.
But you're saying 5 years ago, not necessarily where you're going. Start
because where they are going, anybody
were.
can say anything. It's theoretical. We can prove it.
Okay.
Check what they have done. You want somebody who's excited, then ask them, where do you see yourself? I mean, you don't need to ask it. If we converse over everything, my goals will come out in the conversation.
That's right.
Sometimes you don't need to, and I told ladies to be careful with direct questions because they can be answered like an exam, structured. You need to be conversational, not interrogative. So one lady, I explained that, she said, when I ask this guy where he wants to see himself, say, we'll figure out when you come there. There's no pressure. No pressure. Be very careful with people say no pressure. That's why I don't try to dictate life. You know, you never know what comes tomorrow, you know. It's better to go with the flow and just
wow, you even mastered the language.
Yeah, you know, I know the energy they say. You don't need to complicate life, you know. You never know what corona is here. You never
live in the present.
You know, and they say, well, of course I'm working. So they mention the bare minimum. And so once you notice you're dealing with the settle, there's a lady who quarrels the husband whenever he buys a packet of tissues. She wants him to buy only one piece. If he comes with a packet of 12 of them, 12 rolls, she has a problem with that. So I said, this guy is an achiever who married a settler. Sometimes it's the lady who is petty, who is afraid, who's held back by fear. Sometimes, Joyce, you don't just need to economize on money. There's something about you, the level of your faith, the level of where you are going, your image, the momentum in your life. In fact, there are people who did not start with small cars, from Vitz to Paso, climbing slowly. There's some people who outgrew them before they bought the first one. So they bought a high. That does not mean they're extravagant, but you'll fight over that if you marry a settler.
Wow. Hey, okay. I want us to move on to another one. And this is one I love because this is something I personally preach all the time, which is relationships are not meant to complete you. You need to be a whole person by the time you're coming into a relationship.
When you're a child, you are dependent on your parents. When you're a teenager, you seek to be independent from everyone. When you mature, you become interdependent, meaning you are strong enough on your own and you are better with another.
Yeah.
You can do on your own, but if you find another like you, it will be a better combination. You bring the mood to the relationship that you had outside the relationship.
You enhance each other.
Exactly. If you are miserable outside, you'll be miserable inside. If you are happy outside, you'll be happy inside. Love is shared, it's not given. Don't come to solicit it from me. If you don't feel complete and worthy, I won't give you that. In fact, loving a person who has a low self-esteem is like pouring water into a broken can. Keeps leaking, keeps leaking. You can never feel it enough. There's a lady who told me, I feel so insecure. When I date a guy, I think he's cheating on me. I need constant reassurance, which chases them away. And I told her, it's because you are leaking. Yourself, you are not confident. You don't think you are enough for him. You think he must supplement you, or you were cheated on before, and now you have not healed from that. So it's to say you do not come to a relationship feeling insufficient.
Yeah.
You do not come feeling insufficient. You must know, I'm a man enough, I'm a woman enough, I will trust you to find me enough. In case something changes, I won't collapse, I will just go on. I can always find another person.
Wow.
Romance requires a light touch. Don't possess and impress. No, don't do that. Romance is a dance.
Yeah.
It's not possession.
Plus, it's exhausting on your partner if you're constantly there like, I need you to assure me, I need you to make sure that I feel. It's exhausting on the person because they spend all of their energy just trying to make you and remind you that you're worthy, rather than actually building and doing the things that you're saying as far as moving forward. So all the energy is actually wasted on just kind of getting the building blocks in place all the time, because you build them, they're blocked down.
Can you announce another misconception that when we are married, Joyce, let's tell them from an insider view. We are not always talking lovey-dovey.
That's right.
That's not what we are chatting about. Oh, I missed you, I was thinking about. Can you do that every day for 30 days? How long can you do that? If we are living together, surely. That's why I enjoy projects, because we discuss what we are doing. And I congratulate you. That was good. I think we did it. Let's do what are we aiming at? Let's believe it. Let's talk. Well, this is strategy. When you are discussing what we are doing next, you are always together. It's very important to always have something, whether small or big, have something to celebrate when you finally do it. If it fails, you analyze it. Hey, I thought we got it wrong, but we have learned. Let's move on. Let's dream again. Let's try. What about that? What about this? Yeah, we start with it. What about this? Most of our conversations concern progress. But if it's all about, when girls are in the university, it's all about romance. Romantic. Did you miss me? Yeah, I missed you too.
Money for the salon.
And the nails. How long can you do that?
Yeah.
How long can you do that?
It's exhausting. I'd be exhausted.
There's a place, yes, for that, but it's supposed to be like kachumba. It's supposed to be a nice thing. It's not the bulk of the union. The bulk of the union is, when do you think we should get a baby? What should name the baby? Okay, what about this? Which schools do you understand? How much you do in saving? Which project? When do we? Okay, how are we doing? What about that? How was your day? Okay, first stress. Oh, it went that way. Don't worry. I comfort you over your day. We celebrate highs. We comfort each other over the lows. It's life we are doing.
Yeah.
It's not always rosy. Sometimes it's like, I call it stumbling through life with a lover, with a friend. It's like, it's the journey of life that is not clear, and we are holding each other, stumbling together as we go.
Yeah. And let me jump in and say that even as we talk about the purpose of a relationship is not for the person to complete you, it also then means that it's not always going to be all about you.
Exactly.
So you can't always be like, Atta, you don't do this, or it's not always about the person doing things for you. The same way that they're not going to complete you, it's an unfair expectation that now they should just spend their day and night, bowing to your whims.
And sometimes only those who are children at life expect to be the center of the show every day. Those who are children at life. We all know that when you get married and babies are more delicate. They can't survive on their own. So a lot of attention will go there. A lot of attention will go here. But that doesn't mean we have forgotten each other. This is our joint project. We are together in it. So what you're saying is, if you come to a relationship and there's a sense of you that wants to be affirmed every day, you'll exhaust your lover. You'll exhaust them. They will realize you are insatiable. And just we need to tell people to remember those small things that make you happy. Those comical strips. Those comedy things, clips you can watch and you enjoy. Those things you can see. You get yourself some flowers, smell flowers. Those small things they bring.
Friendship.
Thank you. Conversations with friends. Those things you can do and they bring, and they have nothing to do with your lover. They are good. They are very important. Don't say, for the last 3 years you have not called me. I've just been down here. Don't you have another life? And I ask men not to keep their women at home. She will become unbearable, impossible to manage.
Aye.
Oh, her attention is on you. You did not call, you called it 10:12. Yesterday you called it 10:09. She will keep a record of every small scene. Keep her busy, man. She has a lot of energy. Women have 25,000 words to speak in a day. Men have 15,000. If you are the one to be poured on 25,000 in 10 days, you'll be dealing that much. And sometimes you come home, man, energy is gone. You don't have time to listen attentively. You're not listening. What did I say? we don't have time for that attentiveness.
You go away.
No. Joyce, I can't absorb all that. So I enjoy when she can go reduce the number, distribute them among friends, among class. So I meet 3,000. I can manage 3,000.
Uchokozi.
Don't lock your woman. You'll be hurting yourself. Let her have a life.
There's a very interesting question that's come through on our SMS line there, 111 Can someone learn to love while in marriage? I'm dating a man who I barely love, and I'm not attracted to in any way. Why are you dating him then? Anyway, I'm dating a man who I barely love and not attracted to in any way. He works in another country. We frequently talk, but the usual. How was your day? What's for supper? I feel there's no chemistry or compatibility between us. The last time he came, we did introductions on both sides. His parents came to our home. I can't just find a way of loving him, though he loves me, and I don't want to go into marriage with a man I don't love. Okay, unless you're being forced, I really don't understand why you would be dating someone.
That's how pre-25s talk. That thing started. If she is below 25, I tell her you're just doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. If you are over 25, you're desperate. Or you wanted the perks he brings, the money or the image he brings to you. You know he is not giving you what you want. Ooh. There's no emotion on it being met. You wanted that man who's having that to buy you big cars. Better to get a person to build life with. Don't just go for a person who's already built. Again, if a person loves you all the world and you don't feel them, the spark won't be there. It will be duty. It will be work.
And you know, this is a very important announcement to make. And we need to say this. Because indeed, there are people out there who you have allowed yourself to get to a place where you don't have your own stand. And so you're rushing into things. And what you've said is very powerful, that you're chasing the perks of things. Do not then come and start telling everybody else that marriage does not work.
Exactly.
Please do us a favor and just
say that, girl.
Because it is your decision. It is your relationship that you've chosen to conduct in that way.
Exactly.
Because it's very unfair to go around saying, oh, marriages don't work, all men are like this, all women are like this. And really, half of it is really a product of our own choices, consequences, and circumstances.
Don't marry where there is no love. Take your time. Being single is not a disease. You can build yourself. You can build yourself. And there are many who are, why didn't you go on with the introductions? What was your head?
That's kind of scary. I mean, the fact that you've even done the introductions, that's kind of taking it way far, especially if it's someone that you don't love. I'd be really curious to hear why you
I know the blunder she's making. She has been told, don't worry, the love usually develops. The love will develop. So does it? No. If there is no click, it won't be there.
Anyway, if you're saying even the love that brings you in is not enough to sustain you, it's not then
the first requirement
to rely on love to grow in the relationship.
And the first requirement of love is the chemistry.
Yeah.
There are men who can pursue a woman. You see, Joyce, women have the ability to warm up to a man. If she was not feeling him and he proves himself to be a good man, then she can warm up. That should happen during dating, not inside marriage. So let him pursue you. You can warm up and realize actually he's a lovely guy. Don't move into official things before you confirm that you love him.
Wow. Okay. Someone here says, hey Joyce, how about men who've been experimenting since 17 to 22 years of age, and they say they've had enough and are now ready to settle? Does that mean they'll cheat? Wake up, Benjamin. So, I mean,
that's not a man, that's a boy. Can you correct your English, please?
But they're admitting that they're tired. They've out experimented.
There's a deer who went to a dancing competition and danced herself lame before her turn. This boy is still not done. He's lame and his turn has not yet arrived.
So he still has like 5 years until 27.
8 years. Boys settle at 30. On average in Kenya, in Africa, men are settling at 30. Only a very small, negligible minority is ready at 26. Very few. I want to ask, he is not ready. He is still experimenting. He has been, let me tell you what he's doing. He has been using that language on every girl. I'm done now, you're the one. I'm down now, you're the one. When a guy tells you you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, maybe he's telling the truth, but there are better ones. You tell that to the same girl. Next statement, like that.
Wow, I have so many SMSs. I'm going to ask the team to guide me on time here. But someone here is saying, hey Joyce, I got married to a man who was not educated, but is a great worshiper. Hallelujah. Anyway, not educated but a great worshipper.
Amen.
They suffered low self-esteem with his folks until he left me with 2 kids. I did my best for our marriage, including taking him to school. But now I'm alone. I still desire to get married, and that's Sally.
Okay, I'm not laughing at you, Sally, I'm sorry. But I'm listing the mistakes the way they usually follow each other. Christian girls, let me announce something to you. You give too many bonker points to saved brothers. Because he's Christian, you give him 98%. You need more than faith. How come he had loss of esteem and he was a worshiper? What was he worshipping? You cannot be a prayerful person. You're depressed. You're anxious. You're having loss of esteem. You're not connected to God. You're just, that's not worship. That's ministry. That's industry. This industry. A person who has a connection with God has a very high self-confidence, like Joshua and Caleb. And I told Christian girls to stop believing in songs. Worship is not singing. Anybody can sing and cry. Come on, the devil was a minister of music.
Oh, no.
What she's calling worshiper is the guy who would lead a song and people fall down. He's such a worshiper.
Benjamin, you're a bully.
No, that's not worship. That's not worship. So this guy, you are incompatible when he's not learned, when he has loss of esteem. Forget about the hallelujah. I'm sure you are saying hallelujah. God, so okay.
Yeah.
I'll compose myself. But when you hear Christian girls saying worshiper, that's what they're saying.
Do you need some water?
When you hear Christian girls, that's what they come tell you. I married him because anyway, you know, and now here I am on saying way too, and he left you. Where is the worshiper now?
Hey, you know what, guys? Benjamin is talking truth about this whole 24-year-old story, because some of these SMSs, it's really heartbreaking. Take a look at this one. Hey, Joyce, I thought he loved me since he got me pregnant, told me to keep the child, and has been lying on how he wants to marry me, only to find out that he has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 baby mamas. 4! He is 24 and not taking, he's a child himself, and not taking responsibilities. I am moving on. I have sanitized him from me and my baby's life. That's tragic.
It's typical, Joyce.
It's tragic.
It's so tragic, and that's how we are sowing. Imagine that child. What kind of an environment is that child growing in? Being born by other 2 children, doing child play. Kiswahili usema ngoma ya watoto haikeshi. The child play cannot last. I want to say, and just sometimes on my page, I say from I'm not talking about pre-24. Any pre-24 come here asking me about investment, about the skills you're doing, about the business you're trying. Don't tell me about boyfriends and babies and diapers. It's supposed to build in your future. So one of these days, Joyce, we need to dedicate a day to them, another one dedicate to...
Clearly. But I think we're helping guys. It may be a hard pill to swallow, but I think it is helpful to a lot of people.
For that girl and her colleagues, don't get a baby before you get the ring. Don't sell yourself on credit. Don't get married on a debt. Please go in. Put the right thing first. Respect the process.
Yeah.
Being made pregnant does not mean you're loved. That is so weird. One day you remember what you said here and you'll vomit yourself. Saying, I thought he married me because he made me pregnant. Being made pregnant is a biological process. It's not emotion. It's just biology.
Okay.
Anybody can make you pregnant, even with the eyes closed. Any male can make you pregnant. Don't associate making pregnant with, they make you pregnant to tie you.
Okay.
To exercise their fertility. Some men who just want to sow seeds everywhere. Hey, akuku gaga. Hey. Please, don't provide that ground for them. Secure your interests as a woman. When the marriage breaks, you suffer more. Now you're left to the kid. When things, 4 other baby mamas don't, she has not even mentioned HIV. Yeah. What kind of sexual network is that? Girls before 25, please work on your head.
I agree 100%. Wow. Hey Joyce, Lois from Taveta. Aki, I'm 26 years old and I have done almost all the mistakes Benjamin is talking about. Saa ingine Benjamin anaongea mpaka nasikia kuzima TV. For those of you who don't understand, that basically means sometimes Benjamin speaks, he's basically speaking truth to my life, and sometimes he talks until I just want to switch off the TV. But he's really helped me grow and understand myself better. Thank you for watching this show.
Keep on, keep up. There's an opportunity. You're still young. There's a chance.
Yeah. Nyakio from Kirinyaga says, Walalo, Joyce, today's topic with Zulu is on point. The mistakes we make in the name of love are costly, especially when blinded by it, and one fails to see the other side of it. I think those dating in our OCG in high school and colleges should, I guess, just slow it down.
I requested the other day those who organize graduation ceremonies to ask me to come and speak in one of them. I just want to speak in one of them.
Okay.
And tell those kids who are wearing graduation gowns and here they are with a boyfriend, they're leaving somebody, they're pregnant, they're planning to elope after the graduation, go start life.
Yeah.
That you're committing the mistakes you regret for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
After graduation, take 3 or 4 years to prepare your career life, to prepare where you're going, to grow yourself, to master your personal life, to control your emotions, to heal your childhood wounds, to get a bed sit and pay rent and learn how to negotiate. Know how tokens are put. No simple things are done. Don't go to a boyfriend. And I want to tell those men who drive with their cars from workplace to the university to look for a wife.
Shindwe.
Amen. Women are where you left in the workplace. But these girls have no money. You think you can control them easily. They are evolving. Right. They're just like the ones you left. And some of them are not wife materials at all. They are wild beings. You're going to put her in the house. She'll evolve to a thing you can't recognize. She's the one who comes home at 2 a.m., Joyce. There are women who come home drunk at 2 a.m. And it's the guy who makes supper, puts children to bed, and opens the door to the wife at 2 a.m. Because he went to the university to pick a girl thinking because I'm the one who giving her money, I'm the one who giving her lift. She's so I can control. Insecurities of men lead them to marry things they don't. It's like committing to an egg. I say, this egg, whatever hatches is what I will marry. Oh, kids in the university, you don't know them. They're yet to hatch. There's a part of their consciousness that is yet asleep. It's still developing. Even when they're seated, just start practicing, you'll see it. You can tell girls who are 24 and below, even when they're seated, when they're not talking.
Wow.
They have that element in a child. When you see a child seated, you can see they're blissfully detached from reality. There's a part of they're not awake to reality. That's how 24 years and below look like.
Let me move on to another question. This one's very interesting. Are you ready? Good morning, Joyce. I'm married, but I still cheat with my ex. Does it mean that the energy, Elisha, like the energy is done?
Let me tell you what
Alice
happened.
from Zimmerman. It's
That's
a lady.
A guy. That's a lady. Let me tell you what happens. We said when you expose your mind to love before 25, it gets addicted. It's not normal love connection.
Okay.
It's like cocaine or alcohol. Even after you recover from this relationship, you'll always be a recovering alcoholic. You can always fall. There's a lady who told me it's 20 years since this college sweetheart, we parted ways. Today when we meet, we still fall.
Wow.
And we are married, we have our own jobs, and we don't know. But when we meet, can you imagine they meet and they run to go and fall? So if you had a lover before 25, your brain adjusted structure to accommodate them. Like a drug. You need, actually, when you try to pull away, you feel those palpitations, you feel those withdrawal symptoms. So I want to tell this lady, that's an addiction. It's not a relationship. Even if you left your relationship to go with them, that relationship will not work. You need to cut connections immediately, the same way you'd run away from a drug. You need to disappear from their world, block them everywhere. You ruin your marriage.
Before I go on break, let me ask one more question. I think we're going to extend our session here just a little bit because there are quite a few questions, if that's okay with you too, as Benjamin. But someone here is saying, hey, Joyce and Zulu, I have a guy who never initiates anything. This is, very related to what we're talking about today, about the things people don't tell you, who never initiates anything. I ask all the questions and suggest the ideas. Recently, I suggested that we purchase a property. I hope you're married, by the way. I hope you're not doing this as a dating person. I suggested that we purchase a property together because I didn't have enough financial muscle. Imagine after agreeing and even booking, he said he can't do it. Oh, they're dating. Because she says, am I dating myself? I feel like I force things.
Thank you. You do. You should not buy properties when you're dating. Those things are supposed to be inside the marriage. You're risking. The fact that he refused, he saved you from a foolish decision.
Yeah.
Take a time. During dating, we are checking our compatibility. Projects are inside marriage, not outside.
Someone here says, hey, Joyce, some men pretend to like you because they know that you can't be intimate unless you are sure about them. So they pretend and you feel like they're worth it, but afterwards they act differently. And I know a lot of women have fallen into this trap, maybe even men too. They have their values, they have their principles, what they're trying to hold fast to. But then this guy, it's manipulative. This is a very narcissistic person because they're really playing on your emotions. And even if they somehow say that now, if you come and say, okay, you know what, actually, I think you've been so good to me, you deserve this. a true gentleman or a true person in that relationship should say, but these are your values. And I
Exactly.
honor you enough to hold fast to what you said.
Because I am after the future with you. I'm not just looking
Yeah.
for sex now. Actually, the one way, the litmus test to show that a person is after you is after sex is to simply say, I prefer to do this after marriage.
Yeah.
Just stand on that principle. Those who are coming only for sex will leave.
Yeah.
Don't bulge.
If you really love that person, you will say, actually, no, the values that you hold dear, I also hold dear.
Exactly. And that's what makes you worth it to me. I can trust you. Even after I get married, I can trust you. And I told men to generally not take a woman they're serious with to bedroom before they marry them.
Right.
Because you're teaching her what you can do.
Wow. Let's take a break, guys. We'll be back with Benjamin Zulu after this break and taking some more of your questions. 111 111 444 111 is the SMS line. Once again, that's 111 444 111, and we'll be back after this. Hey guys, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. I'm here with Benjamin Zulu, and we're just going through the things that no one tells you about love and relationships. And let me just touch on some more feedback here. Someone says, hey Joyce, I'm wisdomated watching from Kirinyaga. I don't know if that's your real name or you're saying you've just been given a lot of wisdom. That's really cool. You're watching from Kirinyaga, and you say, it's always a blessing to be watching. And you say, love is never enough. Actually, even the Bible does not instruct us to marry who we love, but to love who we marry. I love that. And you say, this is because to love is very easy. There's even a provision to love your enemies. You just need to be in one judgment and in one mind. Love yourself, for there's no way to be the lover, or rather for excuse me, for there is no way the lover will be able to love the loved more than the loved love the self. Okay, all right, I hope you guys kind of got that last part there. Another here says, I'm 25 years old. I've been married for 4 years now. My husband is 30, and we've grown together, loved each other every day, gone through so much, and still strong together. Marriage is God's plan for us all, and our spouses are God-given. People get married at 30 and still their marriages fail. So I think...
Let me report this.
Yeah.
We're
not saying it's every marriage.
Very good. We have said your brain develops like your feet. If we say children can only walk at 2 years, for example, let's say like 2 years, we are saying at 2 years, the legs are strong enough to walk. But even at 2 years, the child must exercise to learn how to walk. So you can still find a child who is 4 years and has never walked. Maybe they do not practice, they do not desire it. So we are not saying if you marry past 25, it will be right. I don't know where this person is getting this conclusion from. We are saying your brain has certain capabilities. And we are not saying you can't, we are saying you can get it pre-25, but it's a hit and miss. Yeah. It's like crossing River Tana on a rope. I am the one doing the body count. Joyce, I do not allow somebody who's dealing with one marriage, theirs only, to come here and mislead people. Me, I did it 19, and we are okay. Then I also ask them, what could have become? Did you take those years to develop your career? Where could you have gone?
So you're more of an outlier, not the norm.
Thank you. And is marriage all you wanted in life? Was that your goal in life? If you want more out of life, you want also to set foundation for your career, for your calling. Exactly. So for me, I'm saying, we're not saying you cannot do it right, but we're saying it's a hit and miss, it's risky, and it's better to do it when you can see your life clearly.
Wow. Hey Joyce, Diana from Kisumu. I just love this show. I got married at 27, and I just noticed that after 2 years we lost interest in each other because we had nothing serious to talk about until we just started a business project. All is well now. At least we have something to talk about. All right. Someone else says, hey Joyce, I have dated this man for 5 months now, but I'm getting tired with him. Because he's not, because he's not ready to be corrected, and he bores me with, is that when you initiate a serious, topic about the two of you, he's never ready to. And worst of all, is this man has never given me his plans, visions, etc. Neither has he ever told the truth. And they write in caps, advise me, please.
You don't need advice. You're just in denial. This was dating. It's an interview. He has failed the test. So what advice do you want?
Yeah.
You're the one who's too attached. This was, and please, okay, you're 5 months, I forgive, but still you're donating too much of your emotions because now you're already connected to him. That's why you're bargaining about it. If you are assessing him from outside, we said always date from outside. Don't fall in love before you learn him. Learn him before you fall in love. Please, that order is very important. Wow. When a man begins to pursue you, there are some women who start running. This guy's been pursuing me for 5 years, and you have not stopped to check who is pursuing you. Maybe it's a tuk-tuk that is running after you. Just a guy is pursuing me. He has been pursuing me for 5 years now. I think, and now you feel desired. There's a tuk-tuk running after you. Stop to see who is running after you. Just because a fellow is pursuing doesn't mean it's anything. So if he looks for you, look, pause, do the phone call. Check who you're dealing with. Maybe it's a beetle, just rolling down, running after you. No.
Ujiambia watu wa tuk-tuk vizuri, but it's okay.
You know, tuk-tuk don't have a radio, but the engine is the radio. You can dance by force when you're inside. Gong, 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 gong. So some people, when they carry you, like, you must dance that tune. Dum, 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 dum. And you know, some tuk-tuk don't have a starter. You have to use a rope. Some people just have to use. Look at this, all those problems. Why are you with him? What is one reason that you are there?
Yeah.
Because you're emotionally attached already.
And there's something you've said, there that sometimes it's like we already know this thing has come to an end. We already know it's not working out. But we try bargaining with ourselves or like negotiating with ourselves to try and find an answer, to try and find a solution. It's hard to let go of a relationship, especially when you've invested so much into it. I mean, that's 5 months, that's almost half the year of her life. I mean,
and I want to ask her, when a person tells you, give me a chance, don't enter a relationship with them. That's the foolish mistake, but it's so common.
Wait, what? When they say, give me a chance?
Yes, and you say, okay, I'll give him a chance. Don't start a relationship.
Because of him saying, give me a chance?
Yes. The guy is asking for a relationship to tie you quickly. But you, be wise. Say, let me hear what you have to offer. Let me assess it. From outside, interfere like a candidate. So what's your plan for? So what would you want with me? Okay, all right. So, okay. So how... Study, check before you get emotionally involved.
You know what I want to do? I want to one day just have... I want a table and 2 chairs.
Exactly.
And we pretend how to do a first date. And what questions to ask. Because...
Can I order for the roses now?
Now we're going to ask questions like, what are you going to offer?
When a guys want you see, Joyce, with a person want to marry you, they want to take over every department of it. They will influence every part of your life. So you want to check what kind of influence are you admitting. So when a person says, they keep saying, I gave him a chance. What chance? It's an interview. Companies don't employ you for a short while to check you employ. No, they assess you in a boardroom to check whether you are good for what you're looking for.
And you're right. I mean, this is not something that we're trying to just take chances on.
Yes.
Like, this is a life partner.
Exactly.
So it's not for...
And you know what? Those who date using small relationships experience emotional fatigue very soon. You attach here, you detach. Attach, you relationships don't work. I'm tired.
We need to... Oh my God. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. Because I always say that all the time. Don't be quick to just date anybody.
No.
Right? Like, don't call it date. Go on coffees and whatnot, but don't attach yourself to a relationship with so many different people. Just because I feel like even if the one is in a corner eyeing you and he's always seeing you, Mara, you are with CG Maura, now you're with Kinyanjui, now you're with Omondi, now you're with who? I mean,
Mwanzia, Musyoka, Jogosh, you don't need that. Check, don't date. Please don't start. You know, the dating and date is very confusing. Yeah. You can go on a date when you're not dating. But people also they are dating when they're in a relationship.
Yes.
So that language can be confusing. Right. I simply say, meet up the person or converse with them to see whether they meet. This lady I wanted to ask her, did you have minimum threshold for the guy you're going to date so that you measured him against it? No, you didn't. You said, let him come, I'll work with what he has. Now this is what he has. And now you're here complaining. Don't work with what a person has. Joyce, I knew what I wanted for my woman. And I kept checking whether the ones I was meeting were good for it. And I did not settle. I did not date anyone. I did not get a relationship until I found the one. I was protecting my heart. Ladies, protect your heart.
Where?
Protect your heart. It's not worthy. They keep coming and going. Your heart will get tired of it.
Wow. Okay. Hey Joyce, I'm Regina. I have a guy who cheated on me that is not married, but later we fell in love and he decided to break the news that he is married. Akianani.
You walked into
we continued the relationship.
Pre-25s. That's at 24 and below.
But I'm not even finished the story. But he impregnated me.
I know.
And akaruka akasema ball si yake.
Of course.
Now I'm pregnant, 4 months only.
It goes like that.
4 months lonely. Guess how old she is?
I know, pre-25.
She's 25 on the money.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
I know that narrative. I can read it like
wow.
here. I know the narrative. Nobody.
This thing is not a joke.
No. Just nobody.
I know we laugh about this a lot because I think maybe, of course, we're older than that. And like we're looking back at experiences and just be like, Father, thank you for
our
saving
rational
me.
brain has developed.
Yes.
This girl.
But these are very
sad everything
stories.
that happened was foreseeable, but our brain could not foresee because it could not detach from the situation. I told you what 23, 24, once they fall in love, that love becomes like a religion, like an obsession, like they're carried by a wave, but you're already in love. So I said, let it just continue. Although he's married. So where are you going with it? So why did you get pregnant?
So what's the ideal age to start dating, Benjamin?
25 and above.
Okay.
25 and above. And I told you 24-year-old.
Not to get married, to start dating.
When I told you this morning, one told him, I'm 25, I'm married. And I hear that. If they invite me for a wedding where the bride is 25, while they're ululating, I say silent prayers. Because I know this was a blind jump into the dark. I try to do God help, God. Because I know they dated at 23, started at 24, and she's just blissful, thinking it's all about Alejandro, it's about, she's imagining Prince Charming in a horse. So, for me, I want to ask these kids, once you reach, once your brain stabilizes, you'll be able to, everything that happened to Joyce there was not rocket science, it's very foreseeable. But never ask pre-25s, what were you thinking? They were not thinking, they were feeling. The feeling, the amygdala is a feeling department. And that's what you are using when you're pre-25. Remember that.
Benjamin, I have to let you go today, but thank you so much for coming onto the show. I think this has been such a good discussion. Clearly, there's so many things that we get wrong when it comes to relationships. I hope you guys have been paying attention. And I think the first thing, it begins with really knowing yourself and having value in yourself, because some of these things you just should not be allowing into your life. How can people find you?
Benjamin Zulu KE everywhere. Benjamin Zulu KE on Facebook page, and Benjamin Zulu KE at Gmail. The same, Benjamin Zulu KE, Twitter and Instagram.
All right, fantastic. Asante sana.
Karibu.
We'll see you soon. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for your company. I need to call it a day, but let's meet here tomorrow for even more Full Circle with Joyce. Until then, God bless you and have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Ciao.